Welcome to the Daily Detox Podcast. I'm your man Dion J, and today, back again, we have good brother Tucker-Bey. Welcome back to the show, good brother.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Looking forward to getting into whatever the subject matter is going to be today.
Man, I was watching one of these podcasts, and I think it was AQ, and he was
Hmm.
talking about Scottie Pippen and Laura Pippen, and
Okay.
how basically she's having some problems with dating men that are high value as much as Scottie Pippen.
Hmm.
She's been ran through by Future and a few other guys,
Hmm.
and now she's hit the wall to the point where what she wants out of a relationship she can't get. She's got the money, she's got the star power, but
Hmm.
she doesn't have a man that complement the situation.
Hmm.
So, Scotty, he's rebound really well. He's got a 25-year-old, girlfriend, and he's living the top of his life. And the question is that do you think it's worth him getting married again? I mean, he's been through some crazy divorce with Laura. So, what's your thoughts? Should he put it on the line again, or just stay neutral? Or should men in general get married again after they go through nasty divorces?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. That's really up to him and where he is as it pertains of as it pertains to his personal life. Excuse me. Um, I've been married. You've been married, and so that's not really an easy question to answer because there's so many different things we all kind of, I would say, suffer when we come out of divorce. And so some people are actually celebrating. It all depends on the situation. But with Scotty and his first wife, that situation, and again, I wasn't there to witness, what was causing them issues. But I was somewhat aware of her leaving the marriage and, kind of having a good time. It appeared she was dealing with Future and all those kind of things. And I think she kind of burned her own bridge, man, because how many Scottie Pippens do you see out there in the world with that type of bank, right? How
Not a
many
lot.
futures? How many futures? And this is the thing, man. Look, you have a lot of great men out here who are doing a good job, working hard. Sometimes they may have two or three jobs. Sometimes they may have one and they're working on something else, but they have that natural hustle in them. Where she made her mistake, I think, is she's a beautiful woman. She met a great Hall of Fame basketball player, one of the greatest of all time, loaded, right, with money. And somewhere along the line, hey, things fall apart. But for some reason, she thought that she would be able to come out here and still find what she was accustomed to. Okay. And that's a major wake up call. You don't have an everyday Scottie Pippen out here. You do have an everyday, probably good mid six figure guy out here, who's out here doing his thing, focused or what have you. But she's not accustomed to that, man. She's accustomed to getting on private jets.
Well, I mean, think about it. She got two or three kids anyway. What kind of guy is gonna want to deal with a woman with two or three kids? And she look good, but I mean, he can't do nothing with her. He can't start no family with her. I mean, the guy she's gonna meet most of the time is gonna be older than her, because she tried to do the younger guy thing with Future and a few other guys, and they just sent her to what's that word they use? She's part of the streets. What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know something. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
she's something to she's something to the streets. I can't remember. I'll edit this
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But I think that men shouldn't get married again unless there's some type of benefit, or you're on your deathbed and you need somebody to take care of you. I mean, other than that, I don't see any benefits of getting
Right.
married, because if y'all not having kids together, I mean, why are you going to intensify the boyfriend and girlfriend
Mm.
relationship by being married, and then put everything on the line legally and financially, because now y'all married? So she gets in the marriage in 5 years and she's unhappy. Now she takes with half of your pension and half of all your retirement, and you're like, damn, I thought I was in love again. Like, to
Mm.
me, I don't see any benefit. If you're not having kids, why get married?
Well, that whole subject matter of marriage is a heavy one because everyone has their different agenda. You know what I mean? And a different perspective of what they think marriage is. I use myself as an example. My children's mother is a wonderful, wonderful woman and a great mom. But when we got married, I'm 13 years, I believe, older than she is. But that wasn't a plan. That was my first time getting married, her first time getting married. I did have children. Um, that she accepted, which was one of the things that I found to be very positive, because a lot of times, when women meet men, they prefer not to deal with a man with children. I get it. Drama kind of follows that situation. And so, by all means, if you can avoid that, I would recommend any woman avoid that. But she comes from a big family, and she loved my children, and that was one of the things that caught my attention. And so I went to the altar. But I went to the altar with no plan, no short-term plan, right? Didn't even discuss different things that emotionally triggered her, triggered me. Um, Financially, we understood the essence of paying bills, but we didn't understand how to maneuver our money in order to make a better way for ourselves later on as we got a little deeper into the marriage, right? And the list goes on and on and on. Um,
So this is your first marriage, right?
my first marriage,
Is that that was her first marriage as
yes,
well?
but she was 25,
Okay.
yeah.
And y'all got married at what age?
She's 25 and I'm 38.
Okay.
hmm Um, and so a rookie is a rookie. It doesn't even make a difference your age, right? If you've never been married, you've never been married. So it's new to both parties, right? So it's something that with what I know now, I definitely wouldn't do that. So if I decided to get married, look, I realize you don't have to get married based upon love as much as respect, right? A lot of people think, well, you have to be in love to do a lot of things as it pertains to relationships, and that's falsehood. I see more people give each other more respect just by having more respect for a person. I've seen people claim to love somebody and disrespect them at the same time, but claim that they love them, right? So it for me, I'm not. That's a different institution altogether, man. It's not something to rush into. I don't know if you have to necessarily do that in order to have companionship or to even have security.
It's more for women. Women want to feel married so they can brag and show a ring and look like they're not the side chick or the girlfriend forever. I mean, most dudes don't really care about being married. They
Mm.
they rather just have a long term relationship and we kick it because once you get married, she gonna stop doing everything anyway. She gonna stop fucking you. She gonna stop cooking for you, cleaning for you. Everything that you do now is gonna be maximized. All it's not gonna be minimized anymore. So like I wouldn't set myself up for it. I mean, I've been
Well,
through it. I already know about it.
yeah, yeah. And but see, it goes back to what I said. When you know. And what I mean by that is this. Um, a lot of us go to the altar, I use that word as rookies. We don't know, right? It's a mystery. We don't go with a game plan. You see what I'm saying? So if I did it again, I don't know if I ever would, but if I were ever to do it again, you best believe the vetting process is going to be at the forefront, okay? And I'm sure it's going to be for her as well. You know what I mean? Marriage is a business because, and some people want to, they deny that fact, but well, get divorced. And guess what? You're going to realize it's a business then, okay? Because if you have a business, they're going to do the assessment of that. They're going to break everything down as it pertains to your asset, what you own, what you have liquid in your accounts, you name it. It's a business. The children, how much you're going to pay in reference to that, the alimony, it's a business. So don't allow it to become a business, God forbid, if you divorce. Understand it's a business if indeed you want to get married. And you need to then put together the blueprint of such. Nothing's wrong with putting together a business plan as it pertains to you getting married. Before you get married, it's a business. Why not lay out the plan? You know what I mean? And if the two parties agree with the plan, then you're good. But you'll find that many people would not even agree with the plan, especially when you get to the area of finance, investment, right? Where you would like to even live in 5 years, okay? You've had a lot of people, once they got married, they gave up on their dreams, right? Because the other person didn't feed into it, but you never discussed it. You see what I'm saying?
So here's my question:
Mhm.
would you get married again?
Right now, no. Right now, and let me say this. I don't want to say no as if I'm bitter. I'm saying no
Is
because
that no to a black woman or no to? Any race.
Or if I got married again, I'm definitely marrying someone who looks just like me, and I hope her hair is nappier. Um,
So does she have to be American, or could she be from Brazil?
she could
She looks
be
like you as
she
well.
long as she's of my culture and DNA, we're good to go.
Because you know the push right now is to get your passport and find love overseas. So, how do you feel about that?
To each his own. But we have beautiful.
Are you passport ready?
I have a passport, but I don't have a passport ready to do that. Um, they're beautiful women.
How do you feel about brothers that leave overseas to find other women?
You know what, man? A lot of these guys think that the 2 or 3 real relationships that they have, that went awry, applies to every black woman who you don't even know every black woman. I have never dated every black woman in
But the
America.
statistics show that
Who's
most black
who's
women.
statistics? Who's statistics?
Well, I mean, like just pop culture
Pop culture.
and the
Okay.
statistics of the divorce rate, right?
Do you know how many black women don't even participate in that foolishness, man? They just go about their way in their day in their lives. They shrug their shoulders to that nonsense, man.
Have you ever
So
been out of the country though?
I have.
What country have you been to?
I've been to Jamaica.
So how do
I've
you
been to
feel about
Canada.
Jamaican women compared to U.S. women?
There's a lot of similarities because when you go back to slavery and things of that nature, there was a high, exchange of men and women being sold, bought, you name it, back and forth to the Caribbean. So especially Jamaica, okay, and Cuba too as well. And so there are a lot of deep rooted connections we have, especially the deeper south you go here and run into our people. You see a lot of similarity. You go to Louisiana and you'll talk to a lot of our brothers and sisters there. You think you're talking to somebody, from Jamaica.
Do you think
You
you'd
know,
be more compatible with somebody from Jamaica than U.S.?
that's hard to say because you're still dealing with a woman. She still has her
I mean,
needs.
most Jamaican women I know are very aggressive and very domineering, and
And
I'm not interested. I'd rather go over to
but again, is that all Jamaican women? See,
majority of them are.
how do
At
you
this
know that?
point, I got to take the high status quo
Okay,
of
okay.
what's the most common. I'm not dealing with it. I need total submission. I need total support. This is the second half of my life,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So, but anything below 40 years of age is the first half.
Hmm.
Above is the second half of your life. So in the second half of your life, you can't make the same mistakes you made
I,
in the first half,
I would
right?
agree. I would agree.
So we got to evaluate things at a
Hmm.
whole nother level,
Hmm.
whole nother level.
Hmm.
And so at this point, American women aren't looking that good in my eyes as being something that will last forever. I mean, I love my relationships now, but it's still tricky, right?
Hmm.
Because there's certain things that American women won't do that women will do overseas, right?
I like what?
Oh
Let's
man,
break it
I
down.
mean, you need your plate fixed. You
Hmm.
need your house clean.
Hmm.
You need just total submissiveness.
Hmm.
There's a level of caterness and
Hmm.
make sure that I'm comfortable at all times.
Hmm.
Even if I'm thirsty, they can tell when I'm thirsty when I'm not thirsty.
Hmm.
That's the kind of woman I'm talking about.
Okay.
Black women, you ask them for a drink, they be like, "What's wrong with you?
Now,
You
okay.
can't get it yourself."
So.
But then when we go to Roof Chris
Hmm.
and that steak come out sizzling,
Hmm.
everybody's eating with a knife and fork,
Right.
and,
Right.
and the
As they
liquor's
should.
flowing.
Right.
But
Hmm.
I can't get a drink and a snack here at the crib.
Well, here's where a lot of that comes from. And it doesn't come from because she doesn't have it in her being to do such a thing. It comes from her having to be literally the quasi man of her house in many cases, even when many of them were in either a marriage or a long relationship, right? So, what happens with us is this: we want our women to work as hard as we work and still come home and serve us. That's ridiculous. We have to get away from that as men. We have to understand that if she's getting,
What? You talking about paying most of the bills
oh no, no, but you didn't say that.
and
But
marrying?
but no, no, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. But let's deal with this first. A lot of our women are not experiencing that, especially when they're younger and they get married. Usually, it takes both parties to get up in the morning, right? Go out and do their 8 hours, okay? Come home. Both parties are tired, and then we have children. Now, you talked about statistics earlier. You'll find where most black women, for example, will be the ones to pick the children up in the evening after work more so than their husband. Okay. All right. And so that's another added addition to the job that she has to do literally every day, every week, all throughout each and every month that comes to pass. She's still picking up the children. You'll find in the morning where she's used.
You act like that's not their job.
It's not.
Women are made here to take care of the kids, right? That's why they wanted to have a child. We don't have kids. We can't bear kids.
Men and women both have the capability of nurturing.
Oh,
It is
God.
not just the woman's job to do all of the hard lifting, is what I'm saying. Now, to your point, watch this.
So when the tire's flat out front,
Wait a
who's gonna
minute.
fix that?
I've seen women change tires.
Oh, come on, man.
I've seen
That's
women.
very rare.
I've seen. Oh man, it's becoming more prevalent because I'm gonna tell you why. We have an issue now. We have a high divorce rate, right? And we're having an issue. This is why these subject matters are always on the table sizzling, is because we have an issue now with black men and women staying together, even in just a basic foundation of relationships, right? So you'll find a lot of women these days, man, changing their tire. I've seen women not too long ago changing their oil and not complaining about it. It's just what they expect to do these days. You see what I'm saying? Even if they're going out to get their own groceries, they don't expect for us to come or meet them wherever they reside to help them bring those groceries in. They do it themselves, you know. And part of that falls on us as well. So what do you think that's going to produce in her? A more feminine personality or more masculine personality? If that's what she has to do, and then we blame her for it, okay? And we don't feel like we have to adjust anything about our character, and that's where we go wrong as men.
My
But
thing
real
is-
quick, to your point, and I gotta throw this at you because you mentioned it. Now, there is a difference, if indeed, and this is where I would want to be if I ever got married again. I want to be in a position where I don't want her to have to worry about how anything's getting paid in that household at all. Okay? All right? I don't want nothing from her but her femininity. And what's going to trigger with her is, well, he got everything set up for me to actually lean into my femininity because I don't have to worry about my check going towards nothing. Now, am I saying I want somebody to be selfish? Absolutely not. Okay? I'm not saying that. But if she's never experienced a man handling everything, okay, as it pertains to the above creature comforts, that's exactly where I want to be. All right? All right? Is being in that role where our great grandfathers and grandfathers were once in, where they took care of everything off of one paycheck. Okay? And so you saw, and I saw a full-fledged femininity in our grandmothers, okay,
Wow.
and even in some of our mothers.
Well, if you get now all that treatment, then you best be getting some head every day, getting your dick sucked. I mean, fucking all that. You need to get the whole
I think
spectrum
I think if
of her sexuality. If you cutting the check like that, and most women ain't doing that once they get married.
let me ask you this question though: how many of them are experiencing that? And this is what we keep skipping over, right? I know you're capable of providing that atmosphere. Okay, so you would have to be careful of making sure that one, you're not being used, okay, by somebody who's only thinking about herself or her bottom line. But that's across the board. Men and women have a tendency to use one another, depending on who they are, right? So we all have to be careful. Okay, that's number one. So again, you as an example, I know you. I know what you're capable of. You got that guap. And so therefore, absolutely, if you're careful about who you bring inside your home, and she's really about the business of you, you shouldn't. Everything you just mentioned, I'm sure she's going to be more than willing to offer that because guess what? She don't have to work 8 hours to 10 hours or more to help pay the bills in the household. She can do other things, make the house a beautiful home, you know, exercise, keep her body tight, you understand? If there are children involved, take care of the children. It's not an easy job, but at the end of the day, she doesn't have to worry about the roof falling in on her head, man, because it's leaking and there's no money to pay for it. Okay, she doesn't worry about the car note. She doesn't worry about the food. You got that. Okay, so now she's able to focus on 100% her full-fledged femininity if she wants to, being a full-fledged mother if she wants to, right? If you giving her the option to work or not, that produces a different mentality in her. But we don't offer her that in abundance as men. We got to be honest. We don't offer her that in abundance. What we want her to do is to accept a lot of our bullshit, our punk assness That's just true. Okay. And we may not have time today, but there's a lot of wild things we do to our women. We abuse them physically and mentally and verbally, and still want femininity from them. A lot of us are rock solid crazy, man. We really are.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Well, look, it was good. That was a good conversation. Y'all leave your comments
Absolutely.
below, and we'll continue the discussion later. Salud.